I'm Matty Dancyg. I used to live in kibbutz Nir Oz. I'm a teacher. I teach in high school in Be'er Sheva, in Anthroposophic High School in Be'er Sheva. And I have a wife and 3 daughters, little daughters, age of 2, 7, and 8. And we are one of the families that was lucky enough to survive the massacre in kibbutz Nir Oz. My mother also she was very brave, and she was able to save two of granddaughters, a child of my big brother, and child of my sister. And my sister and her family also live in the kibbutz. She have 4 daughters. 3 of them was with her in the shelter. And her husband was also very brave. He tried to fight with the terrorists. He killed few of them. He had only a pistol with him. Eventually, they start throwing hand grenades inside the house, and luckily enough, he went to the shelter in time. And they start burning their house, and smoke start coming in, and they just in the last minute they went out, and at that moment the army just came, so we thank God they are alive. Me and my family were one of the few houses, like there may be 3 or 4 houses that the terrorists didn't get inside. I don't know. We were very, very lucky. All this time, I was holding the handle of the shelter and looking at my 3 daughters and my wife, and thinking that every moment that passes, I thought eventually they will come to slaughter us and burn us like they did in so many houses. I knew exactly what's going on in the kibbutz. I knew all the horrors and everything that's going on, because all the time people wrote messages, please help us, please, they are inside our house, they are burning us, we are dying. I know all that, and I'm looking at my daughters, and it just, for hours and hours, it went on like this. It's like 8 hours. I'm standing there shaking. All my body was shaking from fear, because I know I love my daughters so much, and my daughters, and it was just so terrifying that and frightening, and to know that every moment they can come in and slaughter us and burn us. So yeah, I'm thanking God every day that we are alive, and my family that was in the kibbutz are alive. My mother is a very, very brave woman, 70 years old woman. The terrorist came into her house, and in some kind of a miracle, she told me she couldn't close the shelter, and some bombing closed the door for her. So the shelter was closed, and she was fighting with at the end of the shelter, because no one expects things like that. So most of the kibbutz doesn't have lock from inside. So it was just struggle with the terrorists to open the shelter in many places, and this was the case with my mother's also. They didn't burn a house because they thought they could come in, and they came again and again trying to open and shooting at the door, and bullets coming inside also. She have a hole in the door, and all this time 2 of her grandchilds are under the bed. And I don't know, I don't know how she did it. It's a miracle. She's a very brave woman. So my uncle Itzik Elgerat, which is also a Danish citizen, was injured. We got messages from him at the time that he's injured, and unfortunately, the terrorists took him. So he's been kidnapped. He's in Gaza. We know that from a single of this phone. And my father, Alex Dancyg, is also kidnapped. The army just came, and the house was empty. So, and also we have the signal, phone signal from him in Gaza. So, there's two members of my family that are kidnapped. We miss them a lot. We want them to come back home, and we want all the hostages, all the people that brutally have been kidnapped to be back home. The numbers in Nir Oz is just unbelievable. We are only 360 people in the kibbutz. Children, everyone is like 360, and the estimation is about 120 people that's either kidnapped or brutally murdered. So like, and I'm talking about little babies, less than 1 year babies, little children, women, young women, old people, sick people, everyone. Just it's more than 70 people that are kidnapped from Nir Oz. And yeah, we're trying everything we can. We're doing interviews. We're trying all. My brother is now aboard. He's been in Italy, in Poland, and is trying to help the best he can. And I think we are very, very disappointed and angry with the government and with the army. We feel like they just left us alone to be slaughtered. They burned us, they slaughtered us like we are nothing. And we feel deserted. And I think it can't be second time. We can't be deserted another time. They need to bring everybody, not all the hostages from Nir Oz, more than 200 hostages in Gaza. We've been in hell, and now they are in hell also. And they can't desert us another time. They need to do everything to bring us back, to bring them back home. It's a very, very big failure of the government and of the army, of the intelligence forces. And the only way to I don't know, to recover even a little bit of this failure is to bring all the hostages back as soon as possible. And I mean now, not after it will be too late. My father is not a regular person. I know every person is important as anyone else, but if I speak of my father, so I can say he's a very, very knowledgeable person. He knows a lot. He's a great teacher. He done exceptional work for many, many years about education in the fields of Holocaust and the relationship between Jewish and Polish. He's one of the biggest experts in the world in this subject. Most of his family was murdered in the Holocaust. and his parents was able to survive the Holocaust. And when he was born in 1948, the age of Israel also. And when he was 9 years old, they moved to Israel, and he didn't disconnect with the. He had a very nice childhood in Poland as a child. That's the way he remembers it, and he knows Polish. He reads in Polish. He keeps connection with the Polish people all the time. He have many friends in Polish. He's a well-known persona in Poland also, and the government of Poland gave us their they declared that he's a citizen of Poland, and we are thankful for them, and we hope they will help us to bring him home. He's an exceptional man, exceptional teacher. He had lots of students all around Israel and Poland that admire him and worried about him very much, and we all want him back. He doesn't deserve to be where he is now. He lived on the border of Israel for more than 50 years, and the state of Israel wanted him. They wanted us to live there, to live on the border, and now they forgot to protect us. I've been in kibbutz Nir Oz to collect some things just a few days ago, and this is the place where I grew up as a child till my 20s. To see this place burn down, it's very hard, and to know what happened to many good friends and families and little babies that was slaughtered and burned alive is just the mind is still not able to catch this horrible turn of events. I know the comparison between what happened and the Holocaust is not exactly accurate, but we feel to some extent that we've been in the Holocaust. For 8 hours, we've been in the Holocaust because we were slaughtered, burned alive, and nobody was there to help us. And it's the same case. The big difference is that we thought that someone supposed to come and help us. In the Holocaust, they didn't have this luxury, but we thought that someone will come and help us. The Israeli army will come and help us, and they didn't come. 1 hour was passing by, 2 hours were passing by. Everybody, all the messages was shouting, "Where is the army?" We were sure they will be there, like maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, but it went on like this for 8 hours. For 8 hours, hundreds of terrorists with no trace of humanity in their hearts just slaughtered and burned us alive. So we feel I see myself as the survivor of the massacre in Nir Oz. That's the way I introduce myself these days. The only thing that I'm fighting for now these days is to bring the hostages back. So I ask the government of Germany to do everything they can to bring these people that been through the Holocaust #2, that to bring them home. I'm asking, I'm begging the government of Germany to help us bring them home, please. I want this interview to be most about the hostages and my father, and to bring the hostages, but I can't avoid to say one thing about politics. The government of Israel and the one that standing in the head of the government has been destroying this country of Israel for last few years. And last few months, it went to even a bigger extent. They desert us. They destroy the state of Israel in social way, in financial way, in many ways. And this, what happened now, is just a continuation of this destruction. We don't trust this government. We want them to resign. Netanyahu should resign immediately and bring back this authority to someone we can trust. We don't trust him, and we don't trust his closest friend in the government. Israel needs someone that is not corrupted, that is not a liar. We need someone we can trust, and it's not him. So admit you did a mistake, admit of your failure, and just resign and let us build something good in this country.